I just watched an insane movie that you've probably never heard of. Beyond the Black Rainbow, directed by Panos Cosmatos, and it came out in 2010.
Hello. My name is Dr. Mercurio Arborea, and I am the founder of the Arborea Institute.
First off, let's talk about the director's name, Panos Cosmatos. Have you heard of a cooler name? That just sounds like a filmmaker that makes weird, off-the-wall shit, and it definitely fits. To be completely honest, I myself had no idea this movie existed until about a month ago. The only reason I stumbled upon this was from watching a Red Letter Media video when it was brought up. So I looked it up, really just because the name, Beyond the Black Rainbow. Then I checked out the trailer, and here we are. Now finally, let's get to the plot, and I had to use the IMDb synopsis because there's no way I can tell you what this movie is about. Here we go. Despite being under heavy sedation, a young woman tries to make her way out of the Arborea Institute, a secluded, quasi-futuristic commune. I would have never been able to come up with that little plot synopsis in years, no matter how many times I watch this movie. The good. The visuals are insane. A lot of the visuals look like what I imagine having a bad acid trip to look like. This movie does a perfect job recreating the feel of the late 70s, 80s aesthetic down to the lighting and the ambient droning synth music. As you already know, I'm a sucker for synthwave and retrowave, and when it's implemented in a film, it makes me like it a little bit more than I might have. I'm aware that's a bias I have, and I'm okay with that bias. I adore the slow burn pace. We get to know the characters, we start to hate Niles and the nurse Margot, and we want to see Elena use her powers to get out of this facility. It really doesn't get started until the 40-minute mark. If you can hang in there until then, I think you'll be solid. Michael Rogers does a great job playing the slimy, creepy, pathetic Niles. His presence just makes everything feel gross and unsettling, and I feel that makes him such an effective villain. This film has probably the most interesting flashback sequence I've ever witnessed. I can't even describe it. I felt like it was trying to possess me. That's all I can put into words about how it made me feel.
You are about to embark on a great journey.
This film is like watching someone's fever dream, but inside that fever dream, they're having a nightmare, and inside that nightmare, they're having an extremely bad trip. I consider that to be a big plus. The bad. As much as I love its retro aesthetic, the use of film grain is very distracting and always comes off as a little try-hard. Don't watch this if you have epilepsy. Just don't. It will screw you up. There is flashing lights all over the place in this film. I found it to be extremely unpleasant, mixed in with the grain, but I imagine it to be worse if you have epilepsy. This movie is real damn slow, like almost boring slow. That's probably why it has such a low rating on IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic. Now personally, I'm okay with it because the visuals and the music make up for it, but for most people, I'm sure that's not going to be enough to want to keep them staying to watch this. Final thoughts. This is the most interesting movie I have ever seen. I found myself quite often asking myself, what the fuck? More than I ever have in my life, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I can't even honestly tell you if I enjoyed this movie or not. It's an anomaly. The whole flashback scene alone is enough to either win you over or make you hate this and throw in the towel. This movie was like watching The Floating Baby in 2000: A Space Odyssey, but imagine that lasting for almost 2 hours. I had to question my entire existence when it was over. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say I liked it, maybe even loved it. I'm gonna recommend this just because I think this is something that needs to be experienced. If you don't enjoy it, that's understandable. I'm sure most people aren't going to be down with this at all. If you are interested at all, I say give this a shot. At least try to watch the first 50 minutes before you turn it off. It's hard to believe that this is Panos Cosmatos' first movie, and damn, what a movie it is. This is exactly why I made this channel, to spotlight weird indie movies or just films in general that you probably haven't heard or haven't seen. You want to know something even crazier? Panos Cosmatos is coming out with a new movie called Mandy, starring the one and only Nicolas Cage. And if it is anything like Beyond the Black Rainbow, you can bet your ass I am going to be in that theater and I am going to throw all of my money at it. My name is DeVarier Williams. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And as always, keep on watching movies, keep on watching anime, keep on doing you. All right, bye-bye.